Okay, okay. Ito na. Kamusta kayo dyan, mga kametan? Dami natin na kailangan na habulin. Dami naman ganap. Within the window of 24 hours, meron na tayong updates on the campaign of former Vice President and Congresswoman Leni Robredo. Leni Robredo will be running for an LGO position as we have been predicting and as we have been discussing for almost a year now. No, na hindi na siya tatakbo for national office and it looks like LGU position. Ito na yung final talaga sa kanya. So yeah, let's go. Ito na talaga. So Leni, LGU, Mayor Leni, official na po yan. Now, obviously, hindi pa official na maging mayor siya, but considering her gravitas, considering her achievements, particularly the Robredo brand, considering she's running in in Bicol region, in Naga, she's running in her own essentially backyard. It's almost almost certain talaga no na she'd put up a very good performance in the upcoming election. So Leni is back to politics but not running at the national level. Now, speaking of politika natin, meron din tayong mga updates dito, guys. Meron na officially may bounty na. May bounty na kay Pastor Quiboloy. Kaya yung mga kanina na dami nagme-message sa akin. Ang dami nagme-message sa akin na ito sabi nila, ako sir, gusto kong yumaman. Sir, gusto mo yumaman, sir? Mabilisan lang, pero ito yumaman dyan, di ba? 10 million. Ito ng official bounty. At of course, kung maalala niyo guys, pinag-usapan itong issue ng bounty with Justice Carpio, who also comes from Davao, and of course, on multiple occasions when we had interviews with him, sinabi niya, siguro kailangan lang dyan ng konting incentive, konting bounty. Alam na this, baka may mangyaring positive on that front. So, ito na. Officially, the government has rolled out a bounty for Pastor Quiboloy, 10 million pesos. All right? 10 million pesos. So, let's see if that's enough. And then, of course, there's also, parang weird naman to. Ano ba talaga? 15 million pesos? Ito. May latest na development. 15 million na po. Hindi lang 10 million. Alright? Hindi lang 10 million. 15 million for information, 10 million dun sa arrest. So, medyo, nag-level up ng, ang gastos. Ito ba talagang, malapit ng election, so siguro, kailangan na, di ba? Alam niyo, di ba, sa infrastructure, yung mga ibang projects, nire-rush ka agad kasi before elections, di ba? Kailangan mo tapusin kasi bawal gumastos during election period, obviously because that could affect election process, that could create essentially an indirect bribing scenario. So, pansin natin bago mag-election, biglang tumataas yung gastos ng mga local government units, biglang kung ano-anong mga kalsatang ginagawa. Minsan nga nakakainis, actually more than minsan. Etong nakikita natin pattern, yung sobrang gandang kalsada dito malapit sa amin, mga kalsada dito dati. I mean, in fairness naman, still I love them. Yung asphalt talaga, yung parang Need for Speed, Tokyo Drift kind of asphalt na parang sarap mag-drive ng sports car or something like that. And then boom, sinisira nila pag election period and next thing you know, simento na lang, lower quality pa. So hindi lang sinayang yung pera ng taong bayan, ang ginawa pa dito, ginastos pa para sirain yung magandang aspalte, tapos i-replace pa nila ng pangit, tapos kung ano-anong pang mga disruptions ang nangyayari, lumalala yung traffic, no access tong areas, minsan delayed, minsan dahil sa mga bagyo and all of that, you have delays in the projects, complete mess, di ba? So yun yung isa sa pinaka nakakainis na practices dito sa Pilipinas. Etong biglang sinasiraan yung mga magagandang kalsada or biglang big time, nag-all in yung mga ibang politicians sa mga infrastructure build up ahead of the elections para hindi sila maabutan nung election spending restrictions during the election period. But anyway, analyze natin yan isa-isa. Pag-usapan muna natin si Quiboloy. Pag-usapan muna natin ang itong anunsyo ng DILG at pag-usapan natin ang mga implication nito. Of course, later this week, we hope to discuss these issues. Although, God willing, from different time zone, I'll be joining you guys kasi, of course, this is an important week. Arbitration award natin. It's going to be the 9th anniversary of the Philippine arbitration case against China, so we're going to have some discussions on that. Hopefully, we'll have Justice Carpio. I'm hoping to reach out also to our ambassador at The Hague, talk to some of the experts, international law experts throughout the week, God willing. And then obviously, of course, yung RRM and RNR also in the pipelines land. Lahat yan gusto natin pag-usapan. There are a whole series of projects we have in mind. Obviously, guys, we're also looking at doing a number of interviews with various government officials, finance, NEDA, among others, including yung mga medyo nasa frontline ng bardugulan with the DDS side. So I'm trying to mix it up. I'm also looking at, guys, God willing, we'll have visits to fishing communities all across the country, especially yung mga komunidad na naapektuhan ng bullying ng China sa West Philippine Sea. So we're hoping to also address those things. So guys, behind the scenes, quiet lang ako minsan, but I'm trying to get a lot of projects and initiatives going because I think talagang deserve ng ating taong bayan, no, na mapakinggan, no, ano bang ginagawa ng gobyerno, anong mga kailangan, anong mga kulang, anong maayos, anong pwedeng i-sustain, anong pwedeng baguhin. So as any conscientious and I would say dedicated scholar, intellectual, public scholar, whatever you want to call it, without, I hope it didn't come off as too it didn't come off as too the pretentious or whatever. I mean, that's how I'm called around the world: public thinker, public intellectual, whatever. I think part of that is reaching out and having conversation with the government, having conversation with people in positions of power, and then asking them tough questions, asking them good questions, pushing them, no? So yun po yung ginagawa natin. So as you know, I'm already doing that, and I've been doing that dun sa television programs ko, whether ito yung Need for Speed, Stand for Truth dun sa GMA Network back in the day, nung time nang kasama ko pa si Atom Aurelio. We were together co-hosts dun sa program na yan. Whether ito yung sa program natin sa One News TV5 right now, which is The View from Manila. As you can see, I'm already interviewing officials among others. But what I'm hoping to do, guys, is dito also sa ating platforms para libre na. Para hindi na kailangan na may television pa kayo or something like that. And then obviously, I'll have more quote-unquote editorial control in the sense of production and all of that. I can do it my way. Although, of course, I do it also my way when I'm on television and all. Except it's a much more serious version of me. So more informal, casual version of that. Yun po yung hope natin. That's what we hope to bring to the table dito sa podcast natin. So please continue to support it. Now, balikan natin itong issue na to, guys. Quiboloy, because obviously you cannot discuss Quiboloy if you do not discuss if you're discussing Duterte, right? So as you know, before itong bounty lumabas, the drama was Hanash. I think, what is the other term? Ano ba yung isang term? Ekbang, yun. Kaekbangan ng mga Duterte na yan. Naalala niyo, guys, the other month, nagreklamo ito si Duterte. Of all people, si Duterte pang nagreklamo na yung isang effort ng Philippine National Police to arrest Quiboloy ay di umano na overkill daw. Masyado violent. I mean, and to consider it, this is coming from a person who allegedly, or some would say actually, why should even say allegedly, who oversaw extrajudicial killings right and left when he was in power. So for someone like this to complain about due process, to complain about overkill, to compare about making sure that there's a significant degree of consideration and gentleness pagdating sa execution of the law. I mean, this is crazy. So as you remember, the other month, former President Rodrigo Duterte said that he condemned, actually, kinondemn niya, yung overkill daw na police operation to serve warrants of arrest dun sa accused sex offender and human trafficker Apollo Quiboloy at yung kanyang accomplices dun sa kanyang religious group. Let's just be nice and put it that way. Ito po yung sinabi ni Duterte back in the day: I strongly condemn the use of excessive and unnecessary force in serving the warrant of arrest for Pastor Quiboloy by police officers who are not even from Davao City. Well, pag-usapan natin bakit hindi taga Davao yung ibang police. Dahil precisely because ang concern ng iba dyan is kailangan mo siguro mag-rely dun sa mga police officials na hindi embedded masyado dun sa kultura and the networks of patronage or networks of interrelations. I'm putting it nicely. Of course, you know what we're saying. So kaya nga nagpadala ng special team from Manila, from other places, para ma-serve itong warrant of arrest na yan. But Duterte immediately came to the support of Quiboloy back then at sabi niya absolutely unacceptable daw. itong paraan ng pag-serve ng warrant of arrest. So a heavily armed raiding team of the Special Action Force, guys. Ito yung SAF, no? And Criminal Investigation and Detection Group, CIDG, galing sa Region 10. Sorry, not Manila, Region 10. Nag-raid po sila ng iba't ibang properties owned by Quiboloy, including yung kanilang main compound dyan sa, malapit sa Davao City International Airport, that houses yung kanyang religious groups, Jose Maria College and Worship Building. Nag-storm din sila dun sa Sex Prayer Mountain and Glory Mountain sa Barangay Tamayong, Q-San's Baptismal Resort, in the Island Garden City of Samal, and doon sa Kitbog Compound in Malungon, Sarangani. Pero hindi nila nahanap si Quiboloy. Yung raiding team po na yan, who were in full battle gear, nag-scale po sila ng high fence and gates of the KOJC main compound dun sa Diversion Road. Of course, yung mga taga Davao, yung mga familiar dun sa Pulicas Davao, alam niyo saan yung Diversion Road, and destroyed the gates at the Glory Mountain to gain access sa property. So, medyo they push the envelope. Sabi ni Duterte, will this overkill be the trademark of this administration when dealing with individuals who are merely accused of committing a crime and have not been proven guilty beyond reasonable doubt? Again, I mean, diba, guys, the temerity of this guy who showed zero respect for due process, who showed zero respect for human rights, who endorsed, essentially, complete violation of the Constitution and due process nung time na presidente siya when it comes to his drug war. I mean, these quotes, guys, this is just incredible for Duterte to say these terms, no? To say these things, no? Na, eto na ba ang maging trademark ng administration ni Bongbong Marcos na kinakawawa ang tao at inaapi yung mga tao na merely accused of committing a crime and have not proven guilty beyond reasonable doubt? Isn't that exactly the case of all of those peoples, right, whose lives were taken under extremely suspicious circumstances? And ilang beses si Duterte mismo nung presidente siya, ano yung sinasabi niyong time niyan? Sabi niya, di ba? Did he ever talk about guilt beyond reasonable doubt? Meaning complete due process, meaning judicial intervention, meaning yung ating saligang batas for this person to talk about guilt beyond reasonable doubt. For this person to talk about not harassing or not hurting people who are merely accused of committing a crime. I mean, it's pretty rich coming from this person, right? Absolutely zero level of self-awareness, or some would say it's way worse than that. Will they exhibit the same lack of self-restraint they have shown towards critics of this administration when dealing with their supporters? Self-restraint. Self-restraint. This guy is talking about self-restraint, right? So, I mean, this was just so ridiculous, guys. Kaya minsan, I mean, you cannot blame me for just laughing it off because it's just so preposterous. How can I take it seriously? Right? It's just so preposterous. Ito pa sinabi ni Duterte, how can the administration guarantee the preservation of the constitutional right of our fellow Filipinos when even the most fundamental of these rights are being trampled upon and blatantly violated? Wait lang, sinabi niya ba ng live ito? Parang statements, parang masyadong coherent yung mga sentences. That's not how I remember him last time when he was like the president. Look at these quotations. I mean, incredible. Incredible, this guy. Guilt beyond reasonable doubt. All right? Guarantee of the preservation of constitutional rights. Right? I mean, look at the things this guy talks about. This is Rodrigo Duterte, guys. World notorious for his violent drug war, which cost the lives of thousands of Filipinos absolutely without any basic consideration for due process, for constitutional order, for just humanity, basic humanity, guys. So, I'm just saying, guys, hindi nga, parang masyadong maayos yung sentences eh. Sinabi niya ba talaga yan? I didn't see the video or anything Parang kutob ko ano yan eh. Tapos ito pa. Yung camp ni Quiboloy pa, sabi nila, there is a great probability daw na magsampa sila ng kaso laban sa mga pulis. Ito po yung sinabi nila back in the day, no? It was not only an overkill, I have reasonable grounds to believe that it was even illegal. Ito yung sinabi ng abogado ni Quiboloy, di ba? At least two or even all three of the requisites are not present in this case. These guys are talking about filing cases against police. These guys are talking about due process. These guys are talking about show of self-restraint in usage of force. So, when it comes to other people, lalo yung mahihirap, mga ordinaryong Pilipino, walang pake itong taong ito, itong dati natin presidente, sa taong bayan. So, talagang totally zero respect. I mean, should we go through all the quotes and all the videos of this guy endorsing openly? Tapos sasabihin niya, hindi, it's the context eh. Hindi naintindihan niya. Like, so what's the point of a speech if the speech doesn't mean anything? Right? Alright? If a president doesn't mean anything he says, then bakit pa siya nagsalita? Bakit pa siya naging presidente? Yung mga palusot nilang ganyan back in the day. Tapos for them now to talk about these things, ibang klase talaga, diba? Ibang klase talaga. Well, ito naman, sabi naman ni Vice Presidente, ex-Deputy Secretary, sabi niya dapat, orderly and acceptable dapat yung enforcement of law against Quiboloy, diba? At nag-release din siya ng statements in support, no? Ayan talaga tayo. But anyway, yun yung isang buwan pa, guys. But since then, marami pang development. So, maalala nyo, si Digong, openly sinabi niya na parang alam niya ano ba talagang totoong location ni etong quote-unquote pastor na yan. Okay? So, immediately ang response ng tao, kasi parang he's teasing, di ba? He's parang mocking our law enforcement agencies. He's mocking our judicial system. And by the way, hindi lang wanted by Philippine authorities itong taong to, but yung mga dayuhan, mga FBI, ganun, wanted din siya. Hindi dahil ay makabayan siya or patriotic and all, dahil alam nyo na, pwede nyo na i-google yan, diba? Ano naman talaga nangyari. Okay. Ito guys, obstruction of justice, diba? Accessory to crime potential, yun yung sinasabi ng ibang tao. Kung talaga may impormasyon itong tao na to, diba? Let's not forget, officially, hand down si Quiboloy, no? Ng essentially administration ng kanyang mga ari-arian to someone you know, right? So, for this person to claim na actually alam niya yung totoong location ni Quiboloy, it doesn't seem totally unrealistic. But more importantly, guys, it's not only that, it's the fact that he's just saying it openly with zero respect. Walang respetong taong to. Walang respetong taong to. Walang takot sa batas. Walang respeto. Wala. So, actually, in response dun sa kanyang essentially boasting na alam niya si Quiboloy, sabi ng Philippine National Police na pinag-aaralan nila yung posibilidad na magsampa sila ng kaso for obstruction of justice laban sa dating Presidente Rodrigo Duterte. Kasi sabi niya, alam niya pero ayaw niya i-reveal saan yung whereabouts ng wanted sex trafficker na dating pastor, blah, blah, blah. Alam niyo na. Ayon sa PNP Chief General Francisco Marbil, sabi niya, any statement, quote, that claims to know Quiboloy's location will be reviewed by the PNP to check if it violates Presidential Decree 1829, which penalizes, quote, any person who knowingly or willingly obstructs, impedes, frustrates, or delays the apprehension and prosecution of suspected criminal offenders. Ayon naman sa spokesman ng Chief of the Philippine National Police, we're looking through our legal service to get the witnesses to file cases. You cannot say something that will disrupt police efforts. Remember, we're spending millions of manpower pesos to locate these people. It's the obligation of the citizens to the government. So imagine guys, yung gastos, yung effort, talagang kawawa naman yung taxpayers' money na ginagastos para ngaping tao to. Tapos itong lalabas itong isa na to. Tapos pagtatawa na lang, ay alam ko sino sila pero pero hindi ko sasabihin saan, di ba? I mean, the complete mockery of our system. Obstruction of justice, di ba? Ito po yung quotation ng Philippine National Police. So, talagang guys, hindi lang binabastos yung sistema natin. Hindi lang minamock yung intelihensya ng taong bayan, hindi lang, kaya sabi ko, nung sabi na tatakbo silang 3 sa Senado, although pinagtawanan din hindi kong eventually kasi sobrang ridiculous, it just tells how low the respect of these people is for yung mga institution natin. Ginagawang parang barangay hall lang yung ating Senado, yun yung treatment nila dyan. So now, the police is looking at that, but importantly guys, nag-release din ng statement ang DILG earlier this day na sinabi nila na eto na, may bounty na. Bounty for information leading to his arrest and also bounty for actual arrest, no? So eto na. Ayon sa DILG guys, and of course DILG alam niyo na, It's led by former Mayor Abalos, who is likely running also for the Senate. So medyo malapit ito kay President Duterte. So hindi itong pitsugin na secretary. It's a high-level secretary. So ito na. So ang gobyerno po natin ay dinidouble down yung kanilang operations at yung mga efforts na arestuin na talaga ito si Quiboloy and his co-accused dyan sa several criminal cases that I really suggest you guys to look into. So the Department of Interior Local Government, guys, announced that a 10 million reward will be given to anyone who can provide key information that will lead to Quiboloy. Ayan, gusto mong yumaman, guys. Ayan na, ito na. Ito na ang pagkakataon nyo, guys. 10 million pesos ang malaking pera yan. Makakabili ka ng ano dyan. Hindi naman McLaren. Makakabili ka ng magandang ano kayong pera sa 10 million? Yung simpleng apartment siguro. Pwede rin 10 million. Pwede million. Yung magandang BMW na or Benz na na SUV. Di ba? Hindi naman McLaren, pero pwede na rin, di ba? Pwede na rin. So, eto guys, 15 million reward for info leading, ano ba talaga, 10 million or 15 million? Nahilo ako. Bakit iba-iba yung lumalabas dito? Anyways, kung 15 million, di mas maganda. Makakabili pa kayo ng disenteng apartment niyan, di ba? Di ba? Kagandang buhay niyo, di ba? So sabi ng Secretary Benhur Abalos na gusto ko pong i-anunsyo na meron tayong mga kaibigan na gustong tumulong sa paghahanap sa kanila na nag-offer ng reward na 10 million pesos for any information leading to the arrest of Quiboloy. Meanwhile, reward for credible information in 5 co-accused. Ito guys, kung ayaw naman dun sa Quiboloy mismo, pwede din dun sa mga sidekicks niya, di ba? Pwede rin daw kumuha ng 1 million pesos each kung meron kang credible information dun sa mga 5 co-accused ni etong quote-unquote pastor na yan. Si Jacqueline. So, if meron kayong information ukol kay Jacqueline Roy, Crescente Canada, Pauline Canada, ang ganda na pangalan, Ingrid Canada, and Sylvia Semanes. Canada, bakit Canada? Tatlong Canada, taray meron kayo 1 million. Bawat isa, So kung yung tatlong Canada, for instance, meron kayong information, 3 million na yan. Pwede na rin yan. Maganda yan, 10 million, 3 million. Makakabili kayo ng BYD na magandang kotse. May electric car na kayo. Pwede na. Pwede rin kayo magbakasyon sa Japan ng mga 6 months siguro. Pwede. Abutan yan, okay. Sarap buhay kayo, di ba? Parang yung mga ibang natin, sarap buhay, di ba? So ito talaga, so nagalit na naman yung isa pang very, very magaling na very, very magaling na abogado ni Gong. Alam niyo na sino yan. Sabi niya, ito po ang, hindi ito si Harry Roque pero medyo Anyway, ito po ang nakakataka sa pabuya na ito. Inamin naman na hindi galing sa gobyerno ang pabuya. Kung mayroon pong nag-i-interest na arestuin si Pastor Quiboloy at nagbibigay ng pabuya, bakit? Tignan po nila kung anong interest ng mga taong ito at baka sila pang biktima ngayon. Ang masama pa yung gobyerno ngayon. I'm just saying guys. Gusto niyo kumita, gusto niyo tumulong sa bayan, gusto niyo tumulong sa para sa bayan, gusto niyo tumulong sa hustisya, gusto niyo tumulong sa mga legit na biktima. Ayan guys, marami kayong options. Minimum 1 million each of these persons. Kung 5 sila, 5 million. Kung 3 yung magkapamilya, 3 million. Yung kay Quiboloy naman, 10 million. Okay, daming options. Pwedeng yumaman, di ba? Hindi naman yaman-yaman na, pero medyo komportable ng buhay niya siguro after that, di ba guys? Yun ang isipin niyo na lang. So, ayun na. Yung mga natin dyan, kaibigan natin siya sa Davao. Baka naman gusto niyo pwede natin i-anunsyo, di ba? Baka may cut pa tayo dyan. Sige, 10 tayo, i-share natin isa-isa. No, but guys, I'm serious, okay? What I'm saying is that mukhang seryoso ng gobyerno. At they're looking at all sorts of incentive systems among others. Nasisiguradin, namhuli talaga itong tao. At mukhang based dito sa ginagawa ng gobyerno, mukhang alam naman nila more or less saan itong taong to Siguro it's just about zeroing in on the exact location and then doing it in a way na hindi magkaroon ng resistance or doing it in a way na essentially smooth and successful, diba? So, yung yung reward na ito, potentially this could create some divisions, no? And some of the people siguro na medyo supportive dati, biglang mga paisip, para sa bayan, tumulong pa ako sa mga biktima, kumita pa ako, di ba? Tick all the boxes, di ba? Pwedeng ganyan yung interpretation niya sa situation na yan. So, again, this is important because naalala niyo guys, nung interview natin with Justice Carpio, sabi na madali lang naman yan. Bigyan mo lang ng bounty reward yan. Huli na kaagad yan, di ba? In fact, yun din yung suggestion niya kay Bantag. Si Teves naman, di ba, ano na, di ba? I-expedite na si Teves. Mukhang natalo na siya dun sa kaso niya. I think he was trying to resist being expedited back to the Philippines para mga Portuguese pa yung mga lawyers niya, no? Mga AFAM na Europeo yung mga lawyers niya na Latino. Mukhang natalo siya sa kaso niyan. So, the walls are closing in on these people. But before I transition to Leni, because I think that's also a very important topic to discuss, guys, I think ang kahalagaan ng issue na ito ay seryoso ng gobyerno. At alam din ng gobyerno na imposible na may gagawin silang malaki kay Quiboloy na hindi inevitably ma-impact ito sa mga Dutertes. At now with Sara Duterte essentially out of the cabinet, no? And potentially an ICC, International Criminal Court case coming in, connect the dots. So essentially, you can say yung Quiboloy arrest would be test case, would be a demonstration point, no? It would be essentially dress rehearsal, if I can put it that way, for potential arrest of the other guy. Na alam naman natin sino yan. So kaya siguro yung gobyerno medyo calibrated sila dito, unti-unti nilang ginagawa, parang thirst trap style. Unti-unti nila ginagawa yung step-by-step sequencing ganon. Minamasahe nila yung ground, sisigurado nila na because they're testing the waters and essentially pwede ito yung maging dress rehearsal if they go for G. I don't think the go for G will happen this year kasi parang election na rin kasi. Imagine may arrestuin nila si Digong before elections, baka nga manalo pa yan, mag number 1 pa yan, magpaawa effect. But it's possible na after elections, there could be things done, diba? Or ma-implement na itong ICC warrant of arrest if it comes later this year, diba? So nakita naman natin yung ICC na yan nag-release na sila ng warrant arrest kay Netanyahu, kay Putin, itong mga malalaking leaders, global leaders na yan. Malabo na ma-arrest nila yung mga taong yan kasi in power pa sila at in powerful country. But etong isa, pretty doable sa kanila yan. So ironically, baka yung kung saan medyo delayed talaga, super delayed naman talaga ng ICC yan, tagal na itong kaso na ito, baka doon pa sila magkakaroon ng more operational success, diba? Especially if yung kasalukuyan ng gobyerno ay lalong-lalo na nagiging or unti-unti nagiging komportable dito sa pwedeng mga scenarios na mangyari sa Davao. So pwedeng dress rehearsal talaga ito. Kasi unti-unti pinapalitan yung mga ibang pulis sa Davao, unti-unti nagpapadala sila ng mga pulis galing sa mga ibang areas, unti-unti tinitignan ng SAF at saka yung mga special forces natin anong mga pwede nilang gawin, unti-unti nila tinitimpla yung political situation on the ground, unti-unti nilang tinitignan ano yung mga reaction ng mga iba't ibang grupo. Hindi ito maliit na tao ang pinag-usapan dito, guys. Malaking tao ito, especially sa Davao. So kaya nga, potentially ito yung dress rehearsal for the arrest, for the big one, right? So, this is big, obviously, but there could be a bigger one later on, right? So, tignan natin, guys, anong mga direction ng mga bagay as we follow this. So again, just to be clear, hindi lang ito ukol kay Quiboloy. This is fundamentally about what will Marcos do if ever mag-issue talaga ng warrant of arrest ang ICC. Or, interestingly, in parallel, I mean, this is not mutually exclusive, yung mga komite sa Kongreso or Senado or particularly in the Congress, no, ay meron silang sigurong findings na yung gentleman's agreement sa West Philippine Sea or baka mamaya sa Supreme Court pa may issue pa doon sa confidential fund ng anak niya, ganun. So again, this is a dress rehearsal issue. So let's watch for the developments here. At dito medyo nabasa mo talagang diskarte talaga ng Marcos administration Slow burn talaga sila. Boiling frog yung strategy nila. They never go right away, 'di ba? Unti-unti lang nila binibuild up But then again, as Hemingway said, things collapse slowly and then suddenly, right? So, let's look at how things move on this front. In the meantime, guys, pag-usapan naman natin yung kabila. Yung mga na-excite masyado yung mga na-excite masyado yung mga tao. Talagang pag-usapan pera talaga. Bigyan ng jacket! Nagbigyan ng information, bigyan ng jacket! Bigyan ng jacket! Yung mga ganun, di ba? Maganda yan. Okay. Ito. Mag-transition na tayo. Namin pwedeng pag-usapan dito Masyado naman yata kayo na-excite guys sa 15 million laking pera. So 15 million kasi 10 million sa kanya tapos 5 million dun sa kanya mga